Before the presidency had rules, traditions, or limits, there was George Washington. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732, in Westmoreland County, Virginia, then part of British America. He was born into a family of moderate wealth, with roots in agriculture and land ownership. His father, Augustine Washington, died when George was 11 years old, leaving much of his early development shaped by responsibility rather than privilege. Washington received limited formal education compared to many later American leaders. Instead, he developed practical skills in mathematics, surveying, and land management. As a young man, he worked as a surveyor in the Virginia frontier, gaining first-hand experience with geography, leadership, and the challenges of colonial expansion. His military career began during the French and Indian War in the 1750s, a conflict between British and French forces in North America. Washington served as an officer in the Virginia militia, where he gained valuable military experience, though not without setbacks. These early failures shaped his discipline and resilience as a leader. Washington later emerged as a prominent political figure in Virginia, serving in the House of Burgesses. As tensions grew between the American colonies and Great Britain, he became increasingly involved in the resistance to British rule, particularly in opposition to taxation without representation and restrictions on colonial self-government. In 1775, Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army by the Second Continental Congress. At the time, the colonial forces were poorly trained, undersupplied, and facing one of the most powerful military empires in the world. Throughout the American Revolutionary War, Washington faced repeated challenges, including defeats, harsh winters, shortages of supplies, and low troop morale. Yet his leadership, strategic patience, and ability to hold the army together proved decisive. Victories at Trenton and Princeton, along with the decisive campaign at Yorktown in 1781, ultimately secured American independence. After the war, Washington resigned his military commission in 1783, returning power to civilian government. This act was widely admired and reinforced his reputation as a leader committed to Republican ideals rather than personal power. In 1787, Washington presided over the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. Though he spoke little during the debates, his presence lent legitimacy to the proceedings. The resulting Constitution created a new federal government, with the presidency as its executive office. In 1789, George Washington was unanimously elected as the first President of the United States by the Electoral College. His inauguration marked the beginning of a new and untested system of government. Washington served two terms as president, from 1789 to 1797. During this time, he worked to establish the authority and stability of the federal government. He formed the first presidential cabinet, appointing key figures such as Alexander Hamilton as Secretary of the Treasury and Thomas Jefferson as Secretary of State. Under Washington's leadership, the federal government assumed state debts, established a national bank, and implemented financial systems designed to strengthen the nation's credit and economy. These policies were controversial and contributed to the emergence of America's first political parties. In foreign affairs, Washington pursued a policy of neutrality, seeking to keep the United States out of European wars. His Neutrality Proclamation of 1793 emphasized independence in foreign policy and warned against entangling alliances. As political divisions deepened, Washington grew concerned about the future of the nation. In his farewell address, he warned against political factions, regional divisions, and foreign influence. This address remains one of the most influential statements in American political history. In 1797, Washington voluntarily stepped down after two terms, setting a powerful precedent that no president should hold office indefinitely. This tradition endured until the mid-20th century and became a cornerstone of American democracy. George Washington retired to his estate at Mount Vernon, where he lived quietly until his death on December 14, 1799. At the age of 67, his death was met with widespread mourning both in the United States and abroad. Today, George Washington is remembered as the first president of the United States, the leader of the American Revolution, and the man who helped define the presidency itself. His legacy is rooted not only in power, but in restraint, earning him the enduring title, the father of his country. With the presidency established, the nation turned to its next leader, John Adams, the second President of the United States.